Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
The following is a talk given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on March 13th, 2013 in Sridham, Mayapur, India. The talk was about pastimes with Srila Prabhupada.
Om Agyana Devanandasya Yanandana Salakaya Chaksurun Mandatam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bhajarini Nirvisesha Satyavadi Paschatya Dasatarini. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Dago Haribo, 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 Haribo. Mugakaroti Bhakanam, Pangulangaya Tegan, Yatkita Tavan Bande, Sigurun Titainam, Paramananda Madhavam, Sri Chaitanya Isram. Some of my God brothers have asked me to write a book about Srila Prabhupada and my experiences. I'm going to start talking about Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur. My experience with Prabhupada was in Montreal, in Los Angeles, in Mayapur, and in India and other places, also in Calcutta. So here I'm just talking about Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur after Tamal Krishna Maharaj got the land, which is still standing. And so that grass hut is the one standing by the front gate. That used to be all there was in Mayapur. I used to stay there along with Janani Vas and several other devotees. So Srila Prabhupada also stayed in that grass hut. He would say, this grass hut is in the mode of goodness. This is all we need to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. By the side of the Ganges, in the grass hut, this is all we need. But who will come to receive our guests from all over the world? We have to construct buildings using the mode of passion. Bricks, steel, stone chips, and sand, cement. So there we should build some buildings. Prabhupada, he traced out, we had 10 bighas of land, and then 11 bighas. That's about 3 bighas an acre. And there were 2 plots wide, and then went back to behind this building. So at first he said, we'll build 4 buildings like this one, and then they'll build a big temple. And later, so then he marked out with lime. And this first building, he gave the design that we will build with a large verandas, so that if we are booked up, devotees can sleep on the verandas. We have this repetition. People don't have their FM radios, so the repetition has to come here. So, Srila Prabhupada, he traced out and marked out where there would be 4 buildings like this, and also where there would be a big temple. Later we got more land, and he changed his idea. So we were staying in that grass hut.
So we were staying in that grass hut.
There, at our bathroom, we had a very village style.
For bathroom, we had a village style.
We had some tiles that went into the ground.
We had some tiles wet in the ground.
Tiles about almost 1 meter wide.
Tiles almost 1 meter wide.
And about 4 meters deep.
And about 4 meters deep.
There was a Indian fan style.
There was Indian fan style.
And a little grass hut over the Indian pan,
little grass hut over the Indian pan,
and a slide from the pan to the ditch, the hole.
and the fan from the side from the fan to the hole.
And some of us would go every morning and clean out.
Some of us would go every morning and clean out.
There were white worms
There were white worms
or maggots
of maggots
which would eat the
which would eat the
natural byproducts.
natural byproducts.
And being a Western body,
And being a Western body,
this was a new experience.
this was a new experience.
And someone was observing
And some of us observing
how
how
the worms
the worms
seemed competing with each other.
seems competing with each other.
And one would be crawling on top of the other.
And one would be crawling on top of the other.
And for a minute, he'd be the king worm. He'd be on the top of the pile.
And be the king worm on top of the other.
And someone pull him down and climb up.
And someone pull him down and climb up.
And that would be the king worm.
And that would be the king worm.
And so we developed a philosophy
So we developed a philosophy.
that this was the material world.
This was the material world.
You try to be on top, but soon you're down.
Trying to be on top, but soon you are down.
And the real thing is to serve Krishna
And the real thing is to serve Krishna
and his pure devotees.
and his pure devotees.
So, anyway,
So anyway,
there we had the opportunity
we had an opportunity
to live in a grass hut
to live in a grass hut
with Srila Prabhupada.
with
With Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
And then someone visited us from the Peace Corps.
Someone visited us from the
Peace Corps. Peace.
Peace Corps.
And his name was Bob Cohen.
And his name was Popcoin.
Cohen. Cohen. Cohen.
Cohen.
And he had all kinds of questions.
And he had all kind of questions.
And Prabhupada had all kinds of answers.
Prabhupada had all kind of answers.
So from that came the book, Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers.
So that came up the book Perfect Question, Perfect Answers.
Like that, at that time,
That,
there were not many people
at, that
coming
time,
to Mayapur.
at that time there were not many people coming to Mayapur.
Rather, in the morning we would see some workers go by bicycle to the Hular Ghat.
Rather, in the morning we would see some workers go by bicycle to Hulorghat
to work in the jute godowns,
to work in the jute godowns,
and then in the afternoon they'd ride back.
and in the afternoon they ride back.
So there are no shops, no shops,
No shops,
net shop.
net shops.
There were no buses,
No buses,
just us.
just us.
And down the road,
And down the road,
some Gaudiya Math.
some Gaudiya Math.
So here Prabhupada said,
Here Prabhupada said,
we're going to have a spiritual city.
we are going to have a spiritual city.
There'll be 50,000 people.
There will be 50,000 people.
And he would give us ideas, his vision for the future.
He would give us his ideas and his vision for the future.
There was one French devotee.
There was one French devotee.
He had a mongoose,
He had a mongoose.
and that mongoose would run around.
and that mongoose would run around.
So mongooses are considered as auspicious
Mongoose are considered very auspicious
because
because
they can kill a cobra.
they can kill a cobra.
So if you have mongoose,
So if you have a mongoose,
no poisonous snakes
no poisonous snakes
come by.
come by.
Like that.
Like that,
So we were living with Prabhupada,
we were living with Prabhupada,
and he was giving us some classes.
and he was giving us some classes.
So at that time,
So at that time,
we had some cows,
we had some cows,
and Prabhupada said, it's auspicious if the cows graze on the land where you'll build a temple.
so Prabhupada said it's auspicious if the cows graze the land where we are going to build the temple.
Because by their grazing and eating the grass
Because by the grazing, by eating the grass
and walking there,
and walking there,
the land becomes purified.
the land becomes purified.
So it's good to build a temple.
So it's good to build a temple.
Later we thought we'll build a temple somewhere else.
Later we thought we'll build the temple somewhere else.
But other places became complicated.
But other places became complicated.
And so in the end, we built this temple of Vedic planetarium
And in the end, we built this temple of Vedic planetarium
on the original land
on the original land
where the cows grazed,
where the cows grazed,
where Prabhupada first marked out,
where Prabhupada first marked up,
and where he first planted the Ananta Sesa.
and where he first planted the Ananta Sesa.
One day,
So one day,
one of the cows
one of the cows
was grazing around the house.
was grazing around the house,
And just by Prabhupada's window,
just by Prabhupada's window.
I had a beehive.
I had beehives.
I had bought some boxes
I bought some boxes
from the Apiary Society.
from the
Apiary Society.
Apiary Society,
Bee breeding
bee breeding
society.
society,
In south of Calcutta.
south of Calcutta.
And so they would come and go gathering honey around.
They would come and go gathering honey around.
While this cow saw all the grass under the beehive,
When the cow saw under the beehives,
and cows like to eat grass.
and cows like to eat grass.
So the cow ate the grass,
So the cow ate the grass,
and somehow the beehive got knocked over,
and somehow the beehives got knocked over,
and all the bees swarmed in Prabhupada's room.
and all the bees swarmed in Prabhupada's room.
And I was called.
I was called
Jayapataka.
Jayapataka.
And then I saw there were bees everywhere,
Then I saw there was bees everywhere,
and some were attacking Prabhupada.
and some were attacking Prabhupada.
So somehow or another,
Somehow or another,
we got the bees back to the hive.
somehow or another, we made the bees back to the hives.
Prabhupada said, you have to move the bees.
Prabhupada said you have to move the bees,
not under his window.
not under his window.
One day,
So one day,
behind the grass hut,
behind the grass hut,
we had a kitchen
we had a kitchen
which was made out of tarpaulin.
which was made out of tarpaulin.
So there we would cook,
There we would cook,
and that day
and that day,
Srila Swami,
Sridhar Swami,
he came with the latest Indian invention,
he came with the latest Indian invention,
automatic chapati roller
automatic chapati roller,
and puri roller.
puri roller.
So he was demonstrating. Hello. He was demonstrating.
He was demonstrating.
Srila Maharaj would roll a ball.
So Sridhar Maharaj would roll a ball.
He'd roll a ball of atta
He rolled a ball of atta
and then press it on the automatic
and then press it on the automatic
puri machine.
puri machine.
And it made a nice puri
And he made a nice puri
that he put in the ghee
and then put under the ghee
and it fried,
and fried,
puffed up.
puffed up.
He would serve out. He would serve it out.
He was serving,
And then
serve it out.
we had some liquid,
He had some liquid,
date gourd,
date gur,
and then we dipped the puri in the date gourd,
and dipped the puri in the date gur
try it out.
and try it out.
Prabhupada was watching us through the window in the grass hut.
Srila Prabhupada was watching us through the window in the grass hut. Jayapataka.
So I came. He said,
He said,
"This is not sannyas life."
this is not sannyas life.
So, like that, living with Prabhupada
So like that, living with Prabhupada
was a very wonderful experience.
was very wonderful experience.
And grass huts,
And grass huts,
they're actually alive. They are alive.
they are alive.
They have all kinds of lizards and
There are all kind of lizards,
living entities.
living entities.
They are surprised
Be surprised
how much stuff is living in the grass.
how much stuff's living in the grass.
And but you're at home with your nature.
But you're home with the nature.
So, on one hand, Prabhupada would be seeing his vision for the future,
On one hand, Prabhupada was saying his vision for the future.
and the other hand,
On the other hand,
he'd be also training us.
he was also be training us.
In the morning, he'd go on his morning walk,
And every morning when he goes for his morning walk,
and then he had the lead-in through the aisleways
he was leading us through the aisleways
in the fields,
in the fields.
and there's some narrow pathways,
And there was some narrow pathways,
about, you can say, 10 inches, or
about, you can say, 10 inches.
that's about 1/4 or 25 centimeters.
1/4 of the 25 centimeter.
Those would be leading through the fields.
Those would be leading through the fields.
So I'd walk on those
So we walk on those
and lead Prabhupada to the Ganges or to wherever he wanted to go.
and lead Prabhupada to Ganges or wherever he want to go.
So he said, oh, these are like expressway highways.
And he said that these are like the expressway or highways.
And Jayapataka Swami, he knows how to go.
And Jayapataka Swami, he knows how to go.
So he was very kind to me.
So he was very kind to me.
And so we would walk to different places.
So we walked to different places.
And then, so sometimes we walk down the road.
So sometimes we walk down the road.
And at the beyond the national school,
And beyond the national school,
opposite the polyclinic,
opposite the polyclinic,
there used to be a big banyan tree
there used to be a big banyan tree
that blew down during one strong wind.
that rooted down during one strong wind.
That place is also known as Shiva Doba.
That place also known as Shiva Doba.
And ancient times,
In ancient times,
there was a Shiva there.
there was a Shiva there.
But that tree,
But that tree,
Prabhupada said
Prabhupada said,
that tree is a desire tree,
that tree is a desire tree,
a kalpa vriksha.
Kalpa Vriksha.
And so like that,
And so like that,
Prabhupada would see all the trees and things
Prabhupada used to see all these trees and things
with his spiritual vision.
with his spiritual vision.
So he had us distribute some free prasadam.
So he let us to distribute some free prasadam
So on
and so on.
some days of the week,
Some days of the week,
we would give out free prasad.
we would give free prasad.
One day I was riding on my bicycle.
One day I was riding on my bicycle.
People coming from the temple,
People coming for the temple,
they told me,
they told me,
watch your monitor, watch your monitor. That means, I didn't know, I know a little Bengali.
that means I don't know, I know little Bengali
So at that time, so I thought Bacho means a baby died.
But I thought Bacho means baby died.
I said, oh no.
And I said, oh no.
Because I would see these little babies, little kids.
Because I would see these little babies, little kids.
They eat so much khichdi.
They eat so much khichdi.
Their stomach would come out.
Their stomach would come out.
And I thought, oh no, one baby busted.
Then I thought, oh no, one baby bursted.
He had so much.
He had so much.
But when I came here, I realized that Bacha means calf.
Later, I realized that Bacha means calf.
Bacha means baby. Bacha means calf.
Bacha means baby, Bacho means calf.
So one calf was born of the cow
One calf was born of the cow,
and died at child at the birth.
died at that birth.
Like that, we were living in this grass hut,
Like that, we were living in this grass hut,
and Calcutta Temple would send us about 35 rupees a week.
and Calcutta temples would send us 35 rupees a week,
Which was not much.
which was
Not much.
not much.
So I took permission from Prabhupada
And I got the permission from Prabhupada
to grow our own
to grow our own
sabjis, rice.
sabjis, rice.
And I remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj,
And I remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj,
he said, these are all city boys, what they know about growing.
these are all the city people, what they know about growing.
City boys.
City boys, what they know about growing.
I asked, brother, give me a chance.
I asked Prabhupada, give me a chance.
So he said, okay.
Prabhupada said, okay.
So on a little piece of land,
A little piece of land,
like 5 katas,
about 5 katas,
20 katas and a bigger.
20 katas are bigger.
So I grew tomatoes.
I grew tomatoes.
On 2 bighas we grew radish.
And on 2 bighas we grew radish.
We had so many radish.
We had so many radish.
Hundreds and hundreds of kilos of radish.
Hundreds and hundreds of kilos of radish.
Finally, the devotee said, please, please, no more radish.
Finally, the devotee said, please, please, no more radish.
No radish. We learned every way of cooking radish.
We learned every way of cooking radish.
The greens, the radish.
The greens were radish.
We got so many tomatoes.
We got so many tomatoes.
On 5 katas.
On 5 katas.
We got some tons.
We got some tons.
The land produces so much.
The land produces so much.
It's quite incredible.
It's quite incredible.
So we had to sell the excess because our 5 devotees could not eat all that.
And we have to sell the excess because we 5 devotees would not be able to eat all that.
So like this, while we were here, we learned how to grow many different things.
So while we were here, we learned how to grow many different things.
And then Prabhupada said we should be self-sufficient.
And then Prabhupada said that we should be self-sufficient.
So that's when I also learned how to plow with the bulls.
And I also learned how to plow the bulls.
Bulls have their own language.
Bulls have their own language.
Not very extensive, but
not very extensive, but
enough to tell him what you want him to do.
Enough to tell him what we want him to do.
There's no reins. Just by voice.
No reins, just by the voice.
So when you go to the end of the plot.
Go to the end of the plot.
You want to turn around.
To turn him around.
The Bengali.
In Bengali.
Language is tell them gor 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 gor.
In Bengali language, you have to tell them gor gor gor.
If you want them to go right.
And you want him to go right.
You say da 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 da.
You say da 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 da.
You want him to go left.
You want him to go left.
You say ba 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 ba.
You say ba 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 ba.
You want him to watch out for the feet.
You have to watch out for the feet.
If they're going too close to the plow.
If you go close to the plow.
You say pa 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 pa.
Pa 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 pa.
So like that.
So like that.
We learned some of the cow language.
So we learned some of the cow language.
And so Prabhupada was pleased that we did this.
And Prabhupada was pleased that we did this.
And I could understand that the bulls, the cows.
And I could understand that the bulls and cows.
They're actually people.
They're actually people.
And Krishna.
And Krishna.
He knows all the languages.
And Krishna, he knows all the language.
Cow language, bird language.
Cow language, bird language.
Even Tamil. Even Tamil.
Even Tamil.
Portuguese, Spanish, Russian.
Portuguese, Spanish, Russian.
Chinese.
Chinese.
Every language he knows.
Every languages he knows.
And he could talk.
And he could talk.
To all the animals, all the people.
To all the animals, all the people.
And Lord Chaitanya went to the Jharkhand forest.
When Lord Chaitanya went to Jharkhand forest,
he could talk to all the animals.
He could talk to all the animals.
And tell them.
And tell them.
To chant Hare Krishna.
To chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada asked us
So Prabhupada asked us
to keep the grass hut.
to keep the grass hut.
Let everyone see.
Let everyone see
And Mayapur started here.
that Mayapur started here.
At one time,
At one time,
that's all we had.
that's all we had.
That was Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir.
That was Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir.
Because today at 6:30 they're having award ceremony
Because today at 6:30 they're having award ceremony
for the book marathon.
for book marathon,
Book.
distribution. Award
And
ceremony.
we also want to spend maximum time in the
Kirtan Mela.
Kirtan Mela.
And also we wanted to spend maximum time in the Kirtan Mela.
I have in my room a special video
I have in my room a special video
and TV which shows the Kirtan Mela.
and a TV which shows a Kirtan Mela.
So you may not see me, but I see you.
You may not see me, but I see you.
So here Srila Prabhupada,
So here Srila Prabhupada,
he started out at that time, he dug a hole
he started off, he dug a hole
and he went down the hole with the Ananda Seja.
and
He
we
went
went
down,
down to install the Ananta Sesa.
he invited all the other God brothers
He invited all the other God brothers
and nephews,
and nephews,
the descendants of Amrishadad Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
descendant of Om Vishnupad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
And they all gathered together.
and they all gathered together.
And he established this Ananta Sesa.
And he established this Ananta Sesa.
He said this Ananta Sesa will hold the project on his head.
He said this Ananta Sesa would hold this project on his head.
He said that that is the birthplace,
And he said that is the birthplace,
this is the workplace.
this is the workplace.
Krishna said Janma Karma Chanaityam.
Krishna says Janma Karma Chame Divyam.
So he said that karma, that's Janmastan, this is the Karmastan.
Yogapith is Janmastan and this is Karmastan.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So here, he also invited all his other God brothers and God nephews
And he also invited all the God brothers and God nephews
that you're all struggling to finish your guest houses,
You all are struggling to finish your guest houses,
to do preaching.
for preaching.
I'll give you some foreign devotees
I'll give you some foreign devotees
who can go with your parties.
who can go with all your parties.
How to finish your guest houses.
How to finish your guest houses.
I'll help you.
I'll help you.
Let's all unite together.
Let's all unite together.
Unite together
Unite together
for the pleasure of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
for the project of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
So he invited him,
So he invited them,
but no one took it up.
but no one took it up.
Many years later,
20 years later,
many years later, someone came from a neighboring Gaudiya Math
someone came from the neighboring Gaudiya Math
and asked Srila Prabhupada
and asked Srila Prabhupada
to come and speak on the occasion they had.
come and speak on the occasion they got.
He said, I'm going to say the same thing.
He said, I don't want to say the same thing.
I'm going to say the same thing.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Why are we separate?
Why we are separate?
Why we don't work together?
Why we not work together?
Why don't you do that?
Why don't you do that?
Why don't you go there and cause you embarrassment?
Why we go there and cause you embarrassment?
So he really pressed. Why don't you want to work together?
So why don't you want to work together?
And at that time, I more or less knew Bengali.
And by that time, I was more or less knew Bengali.
I knew it.
I knew it.
So he replied to Prabhupada in Bengali.
So he replied to Prabhupada in Bengali.
He said, I'm very ashamed,
He said, I feel shame,
but I have to admit, you're a big fish,
you are a big fish.
and I'm a small fish in a small pond.
I'm a small fish in a small pond.
But in my pond, I'm the big fish.
But in my pond, I'm the big fish.
If I invite you over,
If I invite you over,
if I work with you, if I work with you, then I become a very small fish.
then I become a very small fish.
So I'm not able to do that.
But so I'm not able to do that.
Prabhupada looked very disgusted.
Prabhupada looked very disgusted.
Because that's not the mood of pure devotion.
That's not the mood of pure devotion.
So, in ISKCON,
So in ISKCON,
Prabhupada established the multi-guru system,
Prabhupada established the multi-guru system,
where all different devotees could become gurus.
all different devotees could become guru.
So, some may have thousands of disciples,
Some may have thousands of disciples,
some may have a dozen
some may have dozens,
or one,
or one,
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Everyone tries to serve the Guru Parampara in their way.
Everyone tries to serve the Guru Parampara on their own way
And we work cooperatively.
and work cooperatively.
Haribo.
Haribol.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Srila Prabhupada.
So we'll give out prasad.
So we'll give out prasad.
Man this side, ladies this side.
Man this side, ladies this side.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare